Yo, what is up, guys? It is Samool here, back with another Epic 7 video for you guys today. And today I'm going to be talking about a question I get a lot in the comment section, actually, and it's about Wyvern 13. And the question I get a lot is, what if I don't have Sigret? What if I don't have Seaside Bellona? What if I don't have Clarissa? What if I don't have that new 3-star unit Mewy, who everyone says is super broken in Wyvern Hunt? Am I screwed, right? I don't have General Purchase either. The answer is no. So the team you see on your screen here is the most free-to-play team that you can run in Epic 7 for Wyvern Hunt. And I say that because you get Angelica, Furious, and Alexa all from connections here. If you click the guy sitting here on the table, it'll always be random. You have Alexa you can get here. You can get Furious here as well. And you can get Angelica here. So that's 3 of the 4 units that you can get. And your 4th unit, ideally, it will be Sigret or Clarissa. If you don't have either of them, you can use SSB, Seaside Bellona, if you got her from the event a long time ago. But if you don't have her either, you're going to use Mewy, the new 3-star unit. If you don't have him either, it's fine. You can use Misty Chain. So Misty Chain is a unit you have to pull, but Misty Chain is a natural 3-star unit. So the chance of you pulling her while you're rolling through banners and Covenant summons is very, very high. Until you get her, you can't really do too much with Wyvern if you're missing all those heroes. So I really recommend just pulling and trying to get Misty Chain if you really lack that 4th member. And the other 3 members, like I said, you can get from the connections that I showed you just a second before. Now, what stats and what levels do you need? So the only 6-star that I'm using here is Angelica. Honestly, for Wyvern 13, no matter what comp you use, you just need a 6-star Angelica. 6-star in your DPS units will make your run faster, but just for stability reasons, you only need your tank at 6 stars. So if you look at my Angelica here, so you'll see that I have them equipped. I use the buff that I got from Unequip event to equip them. And if you look, like, I'm literally not running speed boots. It's because I want to make this more realistic, because I don't have any bad, like, super bad gear anymore. And my bad gear that I'm talking about is going to be good for, or average for early game, late game, or not early game, late game, early game, mid game players. So I decided to handicap myself to make it a little bit more realistic, because I could literally just equip, my tank gear that is on my bench, not that I'm not using, but it'll still be a lot better than early game and mid game players. And that's kind of what I'm doing now. Like, I'll just glance over and you'll see, like, some of the pieces here, they're not like super great for PvP, but for Wyvern 13, it's like super overkill, especially this like helmet, right? So what I did is, I tried to equip some of my less better pieces, and I'm gonna have some units running without some shoes on, as you can see with my Angelica. So my Angelica, it's a pretty easy stat line to hit with the HP set, in my opinion. You can just swap out the boots for HP boots. Aim for like the stat line if you can. You can honestly run with a lot lower, because my runs, you'll see my Angelica is not even close to dying. And the speed breakpoint is very easy to hit if you guys get this exclusive equipment. Now, you want to get this from Hall of Trials, which is in the Battle tab. You go to Hall of Trials, and when it opens up, you farm it, and you get the crests or currency, and you want to buy Angelica's first and foremost, no matter what. And it doesn't really matter which one you get. Ideally, you want the one that heals more. I forget which one it is. But yeah, the one I have is really useless. I just am using it for the speed. And you're going to want to run her on Prophetic Candlestick. So this is my tank that I'm running. You'll see that her stats are pretty average for Wyvern 13 for early mid-game players, and it's mostly because I'm, using some of my bad gear, and I'm also running without shoes on. So that's my Angelica. And then you'll see that Angelica was, actually, let me go over again. Then you'll see my Angelica is 6 stars, so you want a 6-star Awakener fully. Make sure you get her to 6 stars, guys. You want to awaken her because every single awakening point will give her a lot of defensive stats. Like, you'll see the 2-star one gives her 3% health, the last one gives 6% health, a lot, right? I know it's a pain to grind out the catalyst, but it's something you have to do to make your team super stable. And you can Molagora your S2 and S3 through skill enhancing as needed. So you don't do it right away. Just want to go through and see if your Angelica is too squishy and you can't do anything with gear. And the last resort is to skill enhance, because Angelica is a unit you stop using eventually late game. But for early mid game, if you really need that extra power to start farming your gear, it's not a bad investment. So that's my Angelica. Let's go over to my Furious now. So my Furious has the same thing with Angelica going on. So I'm running no shirt and no hat on. So he's running completely naked from the top down with a weapon, a necklace, a ring, and boots. So you'll see this stat line is pretty achievable. Honestly, it's actually pretty bad that I'm not running him without any okay, let me run him on a helmet that's super useless. So we can agree that this is useless, right? Or yeah, like this one's pretty useless because all he's getting is 9 speed. So the speed might be overkill. Actually, it's still pretty attainable, but I don't want him to like die. So I want him to have a flat HP because he can die in the first wave. But you'll see like the gear is like super trash. I'm using a blue plus 12. But blue gear is pretty good for early game players because, you know, you can see that the speed rolled super high. So worth doing speed chasing on those. If you guys don't know how to speed chase, check out my last video about it. You'll see the ring. Effectiveness ring, you really want to run him on that. And then speed main stat boots. Honestly, all you need is speed and 65% effectiveness and tanky enough to not die in the first wave. And you want to run him on Song of Stars, which is in the Powder of Knowledge shop, which you want to buy ASAP. It's super good for him. Makes your Wyvern team so much more stable. You don't have it, you can run a 3-star artifact like Daydream Joker is an okay option. Honestly, Randon's Memorandum RM is a good option as well. But Song of Stars is the icing on the cake. Very good. And also you want to 5-star him. You don't have to 5-star awaken him. So I got him to 4-star awakening because the last star just gives you attack, which is not anything needed. And actually you don't even need to 4-star awaken him. You just need a 3-star awaken him for this S2 boost. But yeah, obviously you do awaken him more. He does more damage. And then skill enhance. So you need to do the S2 because basically this makes it so you have that crit chance buff on your team all the time as long as he is the fastest on your team. And then you want to S3 to about +6 so you get that plus 100% chance. Now the S1 I did when I was super new to the game and struggling with the game because I needed that extra burn chance. It is really nice if you can get this, but keep in mind it is very expensive Mulagora wise, and if you don't have a lot of Mulagora, it might not be worth it for you. But S2 and S3 to +6. And then you'll see right under her, or right under him, we have my last unit, and I have Misty Chain. So Misty Chain is a 3-star unit. Not my last unit, but my third unit is Misty Chain. But Misty Chain is a 3-star unit. She's a very good debuffer. Oh, that is not Misty Chain. You're going to want to run her on Sierra Ren if you can. Obviously, you want to try to get it as high as you possibly can. +15 is fine. Otherwise, Daydream Joker is okay because this is a 4-star artifact, so you might not get lucky and pull it. But you do want to run her on a free set or a speed set or whatever you want to run on her. And basically, yeah, the stats are pretty similar. Just 190 speed's okay. You want to make sure she's not faster than Furious. And you also want to make sure that she has 65% effectiveness so she can land the Sierra Ren debuffs, which you can see is very easy to achieve if you have a effectiveness ring. And also you want to run her on a speed main stat boot so she's fast. And for skill enhances, you can max her out because she is a 3-star unit. Only costs catalysts, which are a pain to farm, but it doesn't cost Mulagora. I recommend getting, you know, all of the effect chances at least in her S2. And then S3 and S1, getting some of the healing is very nice to make your Angelica tankier. And Misty Chain's a really nice free-to-play option because she can kind of make up for the lack of good tank gear you have by healing your front line with her damage. So Misty Chain, very solid option. Obviously, you can also 5-star awaken her. It's probably a good idea because speed. I don't want to waste my catalyst because I don't ever use her. I just geared her for the purpose of this video. And next on the roster, we have your main DPS unit, Alexa. So Alexa, you can run her on the attack set as well. You get 2 attack sets, I think. You can run her on a speed set as well. And basically, if you run her on a speed set, you want to buy this Gladiator's Boots of Victory, which is from the Conquest Point shop, because the subs are very good, because she needs all those subs, and you get flat attack, or not flat attack, attack percent main stat, because Alexa doesn't need to be super fast. You just want to hit her, make her hit super hard. Obviously, being fast with effectiveness is a plus. As you see, you have 53% effectiveness, but I'm primarily putting on her a lot of damage. You just want to make her super strong. Crit damage is your primary focus. Also, all your units need to only be at 35% crit chance, so I have a lot of wasted subs, but I did this on purpose because, you know, I just slapped on random gear, and the wasted subs will probably make up for, the fact that I'm kind of overgeared, and you really want her on a +30 Daydream Joker no matter what. It is going to be the bulk of your damage, and you want to fully awaken her because she uses every stat very well. And then you want to max her S1 for sure, max her S2 as well. And then your S3, you want to get to +2. Don't be like me, and this is what I recommend. Don't get her to +3 or higher because the S3 actually is bad because the S1 actually does more damage most of the time unless you have like a crap ton of debuffs, which won't ever happen with this comp really. And also, by S3ing, you're gonna make it so that she doesn't S2 as often, so it's pretty not good. You know, you want her to S2 over S3 because it's debuffs. S3 is just, it's basically a weaker S1. You can just think about it that way. So yeah, this is the stat line I'm running her on. Now, let's see how this team works. And you'll see that this is a very stable comp if you can get the stat guidelines. If you can't reach the stat guidelines all the way, you'll notice that it might taper off in effectiveness, maybe like a 50% win rate, but that is fine for Wyvern 13 because you can always replace the gear, replace the units as you get better ones, and up that win rate. So let's see how this team fares in Wyvern 13. And here we go with the run. So you'll see that nothing special. You know, you want to imprint your units as well if you can. But you'll see my Furious will always go first, and the crit chance buff will always be up on the team. And yeah, Song of Stars does proc on his S3 and S1, so really nice. And because Furious goes first, he ensures that defense break is always on, and also, you know, that he has that crit chance buff on for your team. Now, the only scary part is if your units get one shot in this first wave. If you get really unlucky RNG, some of your units might get sniped out here because the first wave always will attack randomly. But if that happens, you know, can't really be helped. You just blame RNG, you know. And you'll see I have skills on for everyone. There's some strategies with Alexa's skills off. But for early game players, I recommend running her with a bit more effectiveness and skills on. 65% is ideal because it is the cap for Wyvern. But being a little bit lower on Alexa for more damage, if you're okay with debuffs, is fine as well. Now, you'll see the silence there is because I have Sierra Ren. So that's going to really help on the boss because, as you guys probably already know, because you guys probably already watched my Wyvern 13 Hunt guide, you're going to need 2 debuffs at least on the boss so it doesn't hit your front line. And ideally 3 so your tank doesn't take a crap ton of damage. So Song of Stars is very nice. If you guys are watching this video at the time of Song of Stars being in the powder shop and you don't have it, please buy it. Please buy it. It's super OP for Wyvern, trust me. And then you'll see Furious also goes first here because he's speed tuned the fastest. I don't land Song of Stars, but I do land the defense break, and you'll see that I have a lot of debuffs, right, on the boss. Misty Chain is a fairly decent debuffer, very underrated, and then Furious is a very strong defense breaker. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, what about Mui, right? I'm assuming that you don't have Mui because he's hard to pull. I mean, not hard to pull, he's the same as Misty Chain, but if you pull Mui, you just replace Misty Chain with Mui. If you pull Misty Chain, you just replace Mui with Misty Chain, right? It's fairly simple. You can just swap them in and out. They'll basically do the same thing, and I think Mui is a little better. And you'll see this team has no problems with debuffs. As long as you know what you're aiming for in your stat guidelines, what in your skill enhances, and you know what stats to prioritize on every unit. Even with a completely free-to-play team, and you guys might argue I have better gear, but I purposely took off gear of my units, as you guys saw, and just put on crappy gear, so the stat guidelines are pretty similar, or the stats that newer players have is pretty similar. You'll be able to kill this Wyvern really fast. You'll see I almost killed it before barrier with this team even, and if I had better gear on my units, right, then I could definitely kill before barrier. Now, as a new player, you don't have to aim to kill before barrier. Just make sure you can kill the boss successfully. You'll see right there my Furious missed defense break on the boss. So there is a good chance that I might not be able to kill the boss here. And that's just RNG and it happens, right? But there's also a chance that I might be able to kill the boss. So we'll see. So I do get another turn of defense break. This is why having Furious above like 200, 210 speed's nice, because you do get another turn of trying to land that defense break. And let's see if my Alexa can do it here. And it should be enough with that poison. Oh, she takes another turn. She just kills him outright. So yeah, I did this run. I tested this team like over a long period of time. Basically 20. I just did like random farming on this while I was farming for my dailies. And this had about like a 75-80% win rate. Now obviously this team gets capped eventually because there is more RNG to this team than other teams, but that's just the nature of the game because this is a completely free-to-play team. So you guys want to upgrade your team as you go. Like if you get General Purgus, you can swap out Angelica for him to make your team faster at killing. If you get Sigret, you can replace Misty Chain with her because Sigret will also make it faster. If you get Mui, you can replace Furious with him as well, or even Misty Chain. Just keep in mind you're going to have to up that crit chance because he'll make your runs faster and more stable. A lot of options. Just keep in mind you can't run Mui and General Purgus together. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this completely free to play Wyvern 13 Hunt team, guys. If you guys have any questions or any comments for me down below, leave it in the comment section. And make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps my channel out a lot. And as always, I will see you guys in another video. Have a nice day, guys, and peace.